Hello, I'm Barry Carpenter, and this is another B-Note from Daphne United Methodist Church. Obviously, we're outside across from the church campus in a little park that's between Main Street and Highway 98. And I want to talk to you today about all the people who are coming by in cars here on Main Street. And in a moment, you'll see cars going by on 98. Highway 98 in Daphne. I don't know what the count is, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of cars that go by here on a weekly basis. People going somewhere. As the song says, everybody's going somewhere. Things to do, people to see, places to go. And yet, there's a Methodist church right here at the juncture of these highways. My concern for us as a church is that we're always thinking about the people in these cars. We're always thinking about people outside our church who don't have a church, who don't go to church. Somehow we need to strategize and think about people outside the church. If we're not careful, we get to thinking about this is our church and therefore it should cater to us. It should do the things that make us happy. It should prioritize us, when that's totally upside down and backwards. We're here in this church to join together as servants of Jesus Christ and go into the world like He did for others. We prioritize people who we don't even know, children yet to be born, others. Lord, yes, others, let this my motto be. Help me to live for others, that I might live for Thee. About 100 years after Methodism was born in Great Britain, under John Wesley and Charles Wesley, there was a man who pastored a church out in the country. His name was William, and his wife's name was Catherine. And they had petitioned the bishop to allow them to go into the city of London and work with alcoholics and marginal people. They had a heart for them, and they were called by God to go. But the bishop said no. So at the annual conference, which was then and is now a time when appointments are made and they're read out for everybody to hear, except back then they didn't know where they were going to go until the final day and the final appointments were read. And William and Catherine Booth, this appointment was made, and they were sent back to the country, and they were denied their personal calling to minister to the homeless and to the alcoholics and the margins. And at that point, William and Catherine Booth got up and walked out of the Methodist conference and went out and formed the Salvation Army, which we know today is an organization that's serving people on the margins of life. Toward the end of William Booth's life, he was unable to go to his own Salvation Army conference in London. But instead, he sent a cablegram in those days, and they opened the cablegram to read what the general, their Salvation Army general, would say to all the Salvation Army officers. They opened the cablegram, and on the paper was one word. And it was this word: others. Others. I think we need to hear that word again in Daphne, Alabama. I think this pastor and this congregation and all of you who watch this B-Note, we need to hear that word again, that we do not live for ourselves. And if we do, we need to change. We need to align ourselves with the one who came, he said, to seek and to save those who are lost, those who need a physician, not those who are well. So while the backdrop behind me is of our church, the highways of life, the concourses of life are all around us, filled with people, others who need to hear and be shown the gospel by you and by me. So I leave you with this word today. Concentrate on it. May it be engraved on your mind with the point of a diamond. May it be so strong and passionate in us that this is the church, this is the mission for others. Others, Lord, yes, others, let this our motto be. Help us to live for others, that we might live for Thee. I'm Barry Carpenter, and I hope to see you this Sunday at this worship place. And I remind you that God loves you, and you are never, ever alone.